St. Patrick's Church, Cairncastle, a place of antiquity. This beautiful spot in Cairncastle parish was the site of a medieval church. The date of its foundation is not known, but it appears in the papal taxation of 1306 as Cairncastle. In the early 1600s, the new Reformed Church took ownership of the medieval parish churches throughout Ireland and used them for Protestant worship. A visitation to Cairncastle in 1622 records, "No church but the wall fallen to the ground, a house builded in the churchyard at the expense of the parish, where they assemble together." This report suggests that the old medieval church was in a state of disrepair, and a temporary building was being used until a new church could be constructed. A later report from 1657 tells us that Cairncastle Church was in repair. This probably refers to a new church built to replace the house of 1622. The minister at this time was Reverend Patrick Adair. In 1661, he was deposed for his nonconformity, but he remained in the area to minister to local Presbyterians. Adair died in Belfast in 1694. In 1679, Cairncastle Church was described as ruinosa, or run down, and in 1683 it was noted that the inhabitants of the parish were all Presbyterians. That same year, a Welshman, Lemuel Matthews, was appointed minister. Jonathan Swift is reputed to have named Lemuel Gulliver, the hero of Gulliver's Travels, after him. We have virtually no information about the parish church in the 18th century. In 1768, it was described as being in bad repair, but beyond that, very little is known. The new church was completed in 1815. Repairs in the early 1860s saw the roof replaced, rough cast removed from the walls and smaller panes inserted in the windows. The pulpit and reading desk were moved to the east end and box pews replaced. The east window in St. Patrick's was made by the famed Mayer Company in Munich. Its craftsmanship is of an exceptional quality, so that here, in this small country church, we can enjoy one of the finest stained glass windows in Ireland. Also of note are the two south windows in the chancel, each depicting local landmarks. The St. Patrick's window shows the church's patron saint tending sheep on nearby Slemish Mountain. The adjacent south window in the nave is dedicated to the memory of Captain John Park, a former ship's master on the P&O Larne Fleetwood ferry. A plaque on the south wall of the nave commemorates Sir Thomas Dixon, who died 1950, who together with his wife Lady Edith were generous local benefactors. They gave their former home, Cairndhu House, to be a convalescent hospital, donated land for the Dixon Park in Larne, founded the Dixon Church Hall in Drains Bay, and gave the Lady Dixon Park to the city of Belfast. Further changes were made to St. Patrick's in the 20th century. The octagonal spire was rebuilt in 1960, and a Sunday school extension added in 1993. In 2007, following major restoration, the church was rededicated by the Archbishop of Armagh, the Most Reverend Alan Harper. One of the most interesting items in St. Patrick's is the font. A brass plaque tells us it was used by Dean Swift when he was in Ballygalley Church during his incumbency in 1695. The immediate predecessor to the 1815 church lies in the northwest. Measuring approximately 16 metres by 7.5 metres, its location is marked by a depression in the surface of the churchyard. Some lengths of foundation wall are still visible, and a section of the north wall survives to a height of about 3 metres. A square walled enclosure containing the monument to the Reverend Classon Porter lies against the north wall of the old church. This enclosure may indicate the house referred to in the 1622 visitation. This churchyard has probably been used as a place of interment since the medieval period. One of its most interesting features is a beautiful Spanish chestnut tree, said to stand on the spot where a shipwrecked Spanish sailor was buried in the 16th century. It is known that Spanish sailors carried chestnuts to ward off scurvy on their long voyages.